Try my best.
Thank
the
you,
humor
Brandon.
part helps. Thank you.
I applaud.
Yeah, and this guy that just got a clap, he's running some. That's why I said it's all a setup. That like he posed as he was just a regular dude, and then at the end it was like, oh, and he goes around the country giving speeches to young men and getting them to open up about their feelings and everything. Bro, the whole shit's a
applaud
psyop.
you, Brandon, too, for being allowing yourself to be so vulnerable on that tape. That's why you got 5 billion responses, because people respond to your heart.
Yeah, that's what we need to hear. Oprah giving men advice.
Jermaine is 25, and first, here's a quick look at one of his TikToks.
America, I'm not gonna lie. I really think that us as men, the male power, we are literally having a crisis that nobody is talking about. There are so many men that I know that are struggling with like mental health and depression, especially in these times where the economy and like money and jobs, more men don't have jobs right now. More men are going through financial struggles. More men my age who got degrees, who went to college, who did all the right things, cannot find jobs, and nobody's really talking about it. And yeah, we're seeing these stats that say like, oh, less men are having kids, less men are getting married. Do y'all think that's by choice? That is not by choice.
This is a TikTok. Tito, we was talking about these are paid operatives on TikTok. And he's probably batting for the other team.
This is not our fathers and our grandfathers' economy. Why would I sit here and put myself in a bigger bind of trying to get married, have a kid, and buy a house if I can't even survive on my own? And I feel like nobody is talking about this. And eventually, this has to become a part of the public conversation as society is moving forward.
Okay, we are having that conversation right now. We are. So ask and it's given. So what's your question?
Yeah, I think my question, and relating back to the video, is that I think we're having a conversation about men who are just, in the basement and just unsure where life is taking them. What we're not having the conversation about is men like me who did do the right things. You go to college, you have the right job, you don't really struggle necessarily with relationships or women or whatever, but you do have this kind of fear of, I'm doing all the right things.
We talked about this before, though. This is on YouTube, and the comments are turned off. So that's how they're trying to do the mainstream media joint, like television, where you can't respond because they know they're gonna get cooked in the comments.
Right now, at 25, how do I stay on track with the way the political climate is going, the way the economy is going? This is a whole new era that we're in, and so my question is just, what do you say to men who are 25, who are on the right path, doing the right things to stay focused and stay ahead of the curve for the future when it looks very unpredictable here in the United States?
You just wish as you got older, you could wrap your arms around people and give them the confidence they deserve. If I had your looks, I'd be the leading candidate for the Democratic presidential nomination right now. Look, this pivots to solutions, but the reality is my generation and old people have figured out a way to continue to vote themselves more money. People over the age of 60 are 72% wealthier than 60-year-olds 40 years ago. People under the age of 40 are 24% less wealthy. Marriage is the new luxury item. If you're in the top quintile of income-earning homes, there's a 4 in 5 chance you'll get married. If you're a man in the bottom quintile, there's a 1 in 5 chance you'll get married.
They mimicked a lot of the talking points from down here with the stats that were compiled by white and black manosphere, and he's mimicking the some of the language pattern or certain stuff. No News said it right. This whole episode was fucking rage bait for real, man.
Unfortunately, income as it relates to college, certification, confidence, the ability to put yourself in environments for mating, it's really unfortunate. It's now related to the income of your parents. So what I would suggest is the following. Realize that a lot of this is not your fault and forgive yourself. And 2, as citizens, there are common sense solutions, but they're not that romantic or don't make for good TikToks. We need $25 an hour minimum wage. We need, what would be the best?
That's a Democrat talking point, that their policy. You see what I'm saying? They're trying to we were talking about that. Me, Saul, and Tito. They're not interested in making policy for men. They're trying to repackage their same financial policy joint and all of their fruit monger trans shit, but just put it in like a mail pack. They're trying to put it in a mail pack, and this is them actively focused grouping it in public. Look how staged this whole shit is. Look at all these dudes. When is all that's happened with fucking Oprah?
Best thing for young men right now, universal child care, where a man is at the great.
Yeah, so we know that we got Dr. Tia Johnson's bullet points on policy and stuff like that. There's stuff that the regular white manosphere wants. This motherfucker said the number one concern for men is universal child care. When at least for black men, over 50% of us are married without children. So how is that the number one concern and benefit for us? That universal child care is what they was offering the women during the Kamala campaign. They try to repackage it and give it to the men like that's, this shit is diabolical, bro.
This risk of self-harm is in the year after he gets divorced. He loses his primary relationship. 1 out of 3 men no longer have contact with their children 6 years after divorce. That is the zone of suicide. And why do young people get divorced? Is it a lack of shared values? No. Is it an infidelity? No. It's financial strain. So if we want healthier, loving households, it's pretty damn easy. My generation needs to stop hoarding so much wealth with economic policies that benefit us. For the first time in our nation's history, in 275 years, a 30-year-old isn't doing as well as his or her parents were at the age. If there's any such thing as toxic masculinity, I think it's $280,000, which I bought when I was 28. But now my generation has weaponized college and housing. Once I get a degree in a house, I want the admissions rates to go down. And all of a sudden I become concerned with traffic and I don't like any more housing permits. This is pretty damn simple. We got to put more money in everyone's pocket here. I got to stop buttressing my own wealth with your credit card, deficit spending that elevates my wealth and robs economic opportunity from you. The greatest thing we could do about the loneliness crisis and the mating crisis, pretty damn simple. Put more money in
They're trying to sell this loneliness crisis to men.
your pockets. Full stop.
Make sense?
Makes sense.
Makes sense. Thank you. Thank you, Jermaine. Let's talk about the term
He's definitely a fruit.
toxic masculinity.
Yeah.
Now, you say that this elicits all sorts of reactions, and you call that phrase the emperor of all oxymorons. What's your take?
Well, I don't think there's any such thing as toxic masculinity. I think there's cruelty, there's abuse of power, there's violence. But masculinity is supposed to get in the way of those things. Women need to cross the street when they see men because they feel safer, right? It breaks my heart that you hear in New York, women are afraid to get on subways, and they'll say because there's too many men.
Yep.
So from a very young age, we have to teach our boys, you're a protector. That's how you demonstrate.
This is the Gynocracy 2.0 remix. They turn you into a motherfucking utility. Tito, you want a piece of this?
All of these people are full of shit. What you are seeing right now is the net result of a mate denial and population control campaign that has been going on since the 70s. And the banking system, the political system, the media, and the educational system are all complicit in it. From the banking system, the first thing that they did to result in today's mate denial is they dried up liquidity by getting rid of Glass-Steagall and through inflation, right? To make all of these milestone things that you're supposed to attain by the time you get 18, or you're supposed to attain by the time you get 25, increasingly more prohibitively expensive to acquire, right? The media industrial complex was the first salvo. They began to muddy the waters of what masculinity was and all of the different roles that men are supposed to do, to the point we have the modern day environment where the juice literally isn't worth the squeeze, because you as a man are lured into a scam where you are doing all of your male gender roles and doing half or most of the female gender roles just so you won't be seen as sexist or just so you won't be seen as misogynist. Meanwhile, the woman just happily floats around the house existing as a fucking set of holes, right? The educational system assisted in this mate denial by the promotion of different gender departments and busy work jobs for bullshit titles for females. In other words, providing false credentials to attain to give false and meaningless jobs, therefore allowing women to increase their entitlement and their asking price and artificially higher standards, right? And of course the media assist in this, also social media, by promoting all of these content creators with all of these crazy ass talking points. It's real weird that in the same country where women was so hot for Tom Cruise and they was so hot for Cameron and Tupac, all of a sudden now they gotta have somebody 6'1". All of them niggas was short. But that just shows you the power of the psyop power that social media has, right? So all of these are parts of mate denial that has resulted in the climate that we have today. Universal basic income is not gonna solve it. Raising minimum wage is not gonna solve it. All these bullshit ass panels and dialogues are not gonna solve it. This right here that Oprah is doing is just a futile attempt to try to win a few men back onto the plantation before the midterms. And I'll land my plane there.
Spot on. Well played. So I'm gonna let you bookend this, but Mr. I see you wanted the piece of this at the top. Go ahead, it's all yours.
Scott Galloway on Oprah preaching to men about vulnerability. Bro, y'all, this nigga is like a vegan at a steakhouse, preaching hard how the real men is ignoring how your liberal sermons is emasculating at first. Hey, Saul, what did you gonna say about these geechies that's in the crowd right here? The representation. What was it called? Sosa? You know, stay out of straight affairs. Like this is the epitome of.
Yes, indeed. Sosa, stay out of straight affairs. They're interjecting themselves in it again.
So Oprah worried about straight men now, right? Bitch, you spent decades dragging black bosses, black men on national TV for clicks, freight frauds, welfare creams, and tropes. Now you got the empathy for us. You got the expert for it. Hell, you know what? It must be them DNC checks clearing out. You know what I'm saying? They must be drying up. You know what I'm saying? With this weak ass psyop they got right here, bro. I swear to God, yo. Look at the audience though. The audience was stacked fringe voices of the edge of the so-called rainbow mafia. The rainbow mafia spectrum dominating the mics, turning straight men problems into a therapy session for performative allyship. Galloway admits anger is the only allowed male emotion, right? So I'm angry, Mr. Galloway. I'm angry that you got and trying to represent yourself as a masculine man and you on your damn third fucking marriage. Crossing your man, he crossing his legs so damn hard, he making my nuts hurt. What the hell? These liberals and everybody want to go ahead and start preaching about self-love, risk-taking as if the real barriers are the cultural landmines liberals like him had helped plant. You know, like Title IX, overreach, endless constant seminars, and a media machine that paints every straight guy a glance as a predator. And Oprah, like I said, the woman who built an empire airing dirty laundry, often pinning it on men, especially black men. She's been parading for ratings ever since the 80s and 90s. You know what I'm saying? Now, with this old freight hoax and everything, her endless strong black woman tropes, it's basically even all her so-called supporters are all lonely with wine and cats now, right? Look at her. Look, you know what? She thinks she's sitting there looking like a bad bitch after take all that Ozempic and stuff like that with the so-called foundation on her damn face and the fucked up weave on her head. At 71, she's worried about us, right? This is the same bitch that who allegedly cashed checks from the DNC machine to prop up Kamala's flop, right? Right? I guess you trying to do some damn damage control, trying to do a reach back, right? Right? Man, look at the guy in the back with a damn pink sweater on right there, bro. Hey, y'all really think y'all go ahead and fool us right now, right? You know what? Bottom line, straight men we don't need no saviors, peddling no feel good fixes from the open industrial complex. We got our own code. You know what I'm saying? Hustle, brotherhood, unapologetic purpose, without the plantation strings. You know what I'm saying? To Scott and to Oprah, Sosa. Let us rebuild without your scripted concern. Whose bond is the so-called is disingenuous bullshit? And I'll land my plane there.
Meet Soft Black Man, the safest man in America. He listens, he validates, and he never disagrees.
Unless it's about your self-care.
He's strong, but not too strong. Soft Black Man, your plush.
So let me tell y'all why my legs are crossed like this real quick, okay? From now on, I'm crossing my legs like this because all these white people start calling me Big Mike after my dong started dangling in my pants when I was dancing on the Ellen show. If I don't cross my legs like this, you gonna think I got 3 legs up in here. So white people, you don't get to see my dangling dong no more.
She's bold, she's buff, she's doing everything alone. Strong black woman, muscles of might, saving the day all through the night. Bold, buff, all by herself. New strong black woman action.
All right, so that's all yours, Playboy.
I'll say this. This is most definitely in the words of your boy, Mr. O. It is an image thing so that people can make this sort of mental connection. And she's lending her time and credibility to obviously fruit mongers, simps, and weirdos. You know, you start seeing, if I'm not mistaken, Kamala jump into the fray and Stacey Abrams. And this all like recently. And this is all done just so that people can have on the record, oh, I did this, that, and the third for black men. But obviously there's no outcomes to show any sort of impact. It's self-interested.